fiction mystery quilt.
Hi, I'm Linda Smith, and I'm co-owner of Flash Fiction Mystery Quilt. I write the book and the patterns and manage the website.
And I'm Sue Ellen Jennings. I'm the other co-owner, and I design the quilts and come up with the colorways.
Hi everyone, welcome to our newest video, Homespun for the Holidays pot holder. Isn't this adorable? It is a 6 3/4 inch pot holder that you can make in less than an hour. It looks like it's quilted and pieced together, and it is not. It is woven strips sewn together with a small zigzag stitch. Let me show you how to make this. First, you're going to need to cut a 7-inch square of background fabric, 2 7-inch squares of 100% cotton batting. I used 8 fabric strips, 8 different colors, but you can just use 4 if you choose. And they are cut at 1 3/4 inches by 7 inches. And then just a little piece of rickrack for the handle, and I cut this at 4 inches long. So the first thing you need to do is choose which order you want your fabrics to go in. And they can go literally in any order you want. And you just want to line up a row of fabrics. And I am alternating my colors here. And I've got them butted up right next to each other. Like so. Here's where the fun part starts. We are literally going to weave our remaining strips in and out of these. Just choose one of your fabrics and we're going to start the weaving process. Just lift one piece up and lay your next piece down right on the edge. And then put this piece back. This one goes under, so you're going over, under, over, under. That's your first piece in. Let's put in our second piece. Since this piece went under, our next piece will go over. So we're simply going to butt it up against that and lay this piece down in place. And then we're going to lift up our second piece, and this one will go under. These are easy to adjust. Just use your fingernail and they sort of move very easily. So this one is over, under, over, and then this one will be under. We're just going to lift it up and lay that down on top. And our next piece, since this one is over, our next piece has to go under. So we're going to lift this piece up and place this under, just like so. We're over, this one goes under. And over. And finally our last piece. It starts over, and we'll go under this piece, over this piece, and under your last piece. That's all there is to it. Once you have your top fabric for your pot holder all woven in a pattern you like, and you can switch them up and change your fabrics any way you like, then take your remaining 7-inch square of batting and put your piece of backing material on top. Let's head over to the sewing machine and make our homespun for the holidays pot holder. I have set my machine at 4.6 for the stitch width and 1.0 for the stitch length, and am using the zigzag stitch. This gives us a nice wide zigzag stitch. I have on my open toe foot so that I can see exactly what I'm sewing. I always recommend sewing a test piece of fabric so that you can see exactly what your stitch is going to look like. So this is what my stitch is going to look like. I've got cotton thread loaded in my machine, and I just chose green, a deep dark green. We're going to start by sewing the center line or the center pieces here. Just lower your needle down so that you're on the right side of the center and start zigzag stitching. And that's one row sewn down. Now you can move to your outer strips. And we just have one more on this side. You can see what we've got so far. Now it's time to start in the center, going the other direction. Now the idea is that it looks rustic. That's what you want. And that's exactly what we have. Now, this is our back. We have stuck our background fabric to our, not background, but our backing fabric to a piece of 7-inch batting. And we're just simply going to sew a giant X from one corner to the other corner, just straight across. You can mark this if you want to. It's a straight stitch, and I like to use a 3.0 or 3.2, a nice big stitch for straight across, straight stitch. And that gives us our really nice little back. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's to put this together. We're going to put these together, right sides together. These little pot holders are so forgiving. If your batting moved, don't worry about it. We're still going to sew our 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. We're going to start about 2 inches down from the edge because we're going to leave an opening here. That way we can turn this inside outwards. Now it's time to add our rickrack before we finish this edge. We're going to place it inside at a diagonal. So we're right on the corner right there. it will be sewn in place. And I'm coming up to where I need to stop at about 2 inches right here. We're going to trim off our corners, not cutting our threads. And then we're going to reach inside and we're going to turn this inside outwards. If you have a purple thing, it works great for pushing out your corners. It's a pot holder. It's got tons of padding in there, so you will not get your corners completely pushed out into a wonderful point. And I am going to roll my seams because we're going to put a top stitch all the way around this edge, and it will make it easier to sort of get it even if you've taken it between your fingers and just roll back and forth and flatten those edges down. Your opening where you sewed these, where you turned it inside out, can either be whip stitched closed or you can just machine sew it. I am going to machine sew mine closed. I have my opening folded over just like I want it, and now I'm simply going to stitch right on the very edge to catch that and close that opening. And now that that is closed, all I need to do is sew my top stitch. Let's do that and we'll be done. So I'm going to move in approximately, it's just right around 1/4 of an inch, maybe just a little bit more to do my top stitch. As you can see where my needle is, just going to sew around the edge with a pretty little plain top stitch. And there she is. I really love these. They are so fast to make, and they look like you spent hours sewing them, and you didn't. And they look